tightened on the wheel. Showtime. Be ready when I summon you, I replied in a calm tone. 10-4. In my previous life as an assassin, I disposed of problem vampires for the Dominé. Therefore, despite the personal stakes and the adrenaline surge, my body had kicked instinctively into mission mode. I shifted the car into drive. The sweat on my palm meant it took 2 tries to manage. Hey, Red. This from Adam Lazarus, haughty mage, and the 3rd member of our little team. We used to have a 4th, a vanity demon, but she'd been kicked off the team 24 hours earlier after an unfortunate incident involving a vampire strip club, a large explosion, and a lover's quarrel with Giguhl. Yeah? Are you ready? The mage always had a frustrating knack for breaking through the insulating layers I'd built around my feelings. Damn him. 2 pinpoints of light turned onto the road several blocks back. I took a deep breath and willed my heart to slow. Are you kidding? I snorted. Totally. He knew me too well to buy that. We'll get her back, Sabina. His tone had a hint of unwelcome pity. I ignored the spark of fear that flared at his words. Of course we will. Not getting Maisie back was not an option. Okay, everyone, switching to radio silence. Let's do this. My hands contracted on the steering wheel, my knuckles pale in the dim light. I tried not to focus on the only glitch in our plan. We were about to kidnap the wrong domina. In a perfect world, the vampire in that Mercedes would be my grandmother. When she'd taken Maisie, she'd sealed her fate with me. Although, to be honest, she was pretty much at the top of my must-kill list for a host of other reasons that included manipulation, lying, kidnapping, attempted murder, and the destruction of my prized Ducati. Yeah, I know, we make the Manson family look like the Brady Bunch. Anyway, Lavinia wasn't an option for the kidnapping plan, because she rarely left the Dominé compound. But Persephone left the grounds each Tuesday to host a mass for the plebeian vamps at a temple located in Santa Monica. And with the war between vampires and mages looming, the Dominé needed to spread anti-mage propaganda to strengthen their support for the war. Where better to do that than at a religious service? Besides, of the 3 Dominé who ruled the vampire race, Persephone was the weakest. Weak is relative when discussing ancient female vampires, of course. But Persephone tended to be more interested in preserving history and promoting spiritualism among the vampire bourgeoisie than in crushing opposition or amassing obscene fortunes like the other 2 Dominé. That meant she'd be far easier to manipulate than Lavinia or Tanith, the beta domina, who controlled their business interests. The plan was to nab Persephone and deliver her to the fairy and mage leaders for interrogation and a possible hostage exchange. Simple. If we survived. The Mercedes was about 2 blocks back now. A few car lengths behind that, I spied the headlights of the beater pickup we'd boosted. Adam held the truck back at a conservative distance as he waited for my signal. Wait for it, I said, my eyes glued to the mirror. When the target was a block back, I tensed my foot over the gas pedal. Nothing to see here. With each turn of the sedan's wheels, my heart picked up speed. Just a broken-down van. Almost there. The Mercedes' dark as midnight windows prevented me from counting heads. Looked like we were going to have to do this the hard way, as usual. Now! I punched the accelerator. The tire spun for a moment on gravel before jumping out onto the road. Squealing brakes and a blaring horn. Every muscle rigid as I braced for impact. The scream of crunching metal. Vertigo and pain as the van tipped and slid several hundred feet. The seatbelt dug into my skin, but kept me from being tossed around like loose change in a dryer. When the world stilled again, ominous silence reigned. Scratch that. Not silence exactly. The van's radiator hissed, and someone was groaning.